Hi guys, in this video we're going to go through the classical Sun Salutation B. So make sure you check out the classical Sun Salutation and the classical Sun Salutation A, and mastering all the steps in those two practices, and then we can move on to the third one here. It's again a dynamic Sun Salutation, so take it easy and always listen to your body before you do anything which doesn't feel right. We're going to start again in the front of our mat. General standing pose, toes together, heels slightly apart. Spread your weight in the four corners of your feet. Activate your legs. Straighten out your spine a little bit. Pelvis neutral. Shoulders, chest open, hands on the side. So you're going to have two more poses here than in the previous one. It's like the Utkatasana, the chair pose, and the warrior one, the Virabhadrasana one. Makes the practice a little more challenging. So we're going to start in our standing pose. Inhale and exhale. We bring the hands together in front of the heart. And now for the first round, just follow me without focusing on inhalation, exhalation. Just keep breathing normally. The first position, we start here. We're going to bend the knees, and we're going to sort of push our top of the femur head down to our heels. And we lengthen the spine out from our pelvis, and we want to touch the fingertips to the floor, sitting low here and rising the arms up. So you can keep your hands apart here. If you're comfortable, can try to join the palms together and look up to the thumb. If the balance is tricky for you here, keep looking forward. Try to not be too much in the lower back arch, but keep a little bit front ribs in, pulling down through the tailbone, pressing the top of the femurs down, and then looking up to the thumb once you're comfortable. If you can't lift up your arms without elevating your shoulders too much, keep the hands apart, push your shoulders down here. Good. From this position, we're going to open the hands, straight the legs, hands are on the side here. We look forward with an open chest, and we're moving all the way down. And we want to bring both the hands beside of the feet. Again, like always, feel free to bend your knees in the forward bend. The next pose here will lengthen the spine again. It's the half forward bend, and we look up. And then again, pressing the hands into the floor. Feel free to bend the knees or step back. We're just going to step back for the first one here, bringing the feet together, lowering down into a chaturanga. Make sure your shoulders don't go further than your elbows. This is a very critical point here, that you can move strongly and safely into the next pose. So here we're going to roll over the toes, and we're going to have the shoulders over the wrists, shoulders back, chest open. You want to gently press down through your feet, knees are in the air here, and you're going to look forward. If it's very easy for your neck, you can look up slightly, but otherwise keep the neck neutral, look forward. Then we're finding the downward facing dog, lifting the hips up, looking between the legs. So some people might like it more to look towards the center of the navel, but otherwise just keep your neck neutral, keep the neck long, look between the legs. Then we're stepping the right leg forward. Here you want to bring your toes and fingers in one line again. You want to push back through the left heel, and you want to make very, very sure that your right knee stays over the right heel. You don't want to allow your knee to go further than the heel. You don't want to drop your knee to the inside. You want to have your pelvis pointing forward, and then you want to rotate your hands out. You want to open the chest, and you want to lift your arms up. Again here, feel free to keep the arms apart. If you feel it's very easy for you to join your hands without lifting the shoulders up too much, join your palms, look up to the thumb. If the balance is tricky here for you, keep looking straight ahead, keep the hands apart. Next one, diving your hands down again, placing both the hands in line with the toes, stepping right leg back. Lowering down to chaturanga, keeping elbows, shoulders in one line, rolling over the toes into the upward facing dog. Hips up, rolling over the toes into the downward facing dog. Then we step the left leg forward. And again, check your knee, make sure your knee is in the right pose. Then you want to push slightly forward through your right hip, and you want to push back through the heel. You want to open up the front of the right leg here. And avoid also here to be too much in an arch. So gently pulling down through the tailbone, integrating your ribs, keeping a strong core. And from the beginning on, turn your hands out, this external rotation in the arms, in the shoulders. Lift your hands up, choose your variation, palms together looking up, hands apart looking forward. Swan, diving the hands down again, placing the hands on the floor, left leg steps back, we lowering down to the Chaturanga. All the easier versions for these poses you see in the tutorial for the classical Sun Salutation A. We're going to open chest and shoulders. We're going to find the downward facing dog again. Make sure you check your down dog again, rooting through the knuckle of the index finger, trying to roll the shoulders away from the ears, avoiding bending the elbows, hugging the shoulders up. Just keep pushing through the hands, keep pushing through the heels, keep your toes relaxed, lift your hips up. Also in the down dog, you want to avoid this arch. Just keep pushing back through the tailbone. You take 2 more breaths. And then again, on an inhale, we come slightly forward. Exhale, we can bend the knees. And you can hop or step forward, choosing your variation, whatever works for you. We find us here in a full forward bend. And then we find ourselves in the half forward bend with a long spine. And then exhaling down again into the full forward bend. And then from here we're going to bend the knees, straighten up our back, turn the hands out, 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 and lift the arms up, look up. And with the exhale, slowly finding back to our Tadasana, to our standing pose. So this one is definitely a little bit more challenging than the previous Sun Salutations. So make sure you get all the poses right. Do the things which make it accessible for you. And then we're going to move one time now with connection of the breath, with the inhale and exhale. So we're going to move a little bit faster. Take the steps you need to take, lowering down to Chaturanga on the knees if it's otherwise too hard, finding a cobra pose instead of the upward facing dog. Choose your variation, and then from there we can go. Find your straight standing pose. Inhale, exhale, we bring the hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, we bend the knees, fingertips touch, rise your arms, look up to the thumb. Exhaling into a full forward bend. Inhaling into the half forward bend. Exhaling, press your hands, choose your variation, how to go back. Inhaling in the upward facing dog, shoulders back, chest open, long neck. Exhaling in the downward facing dog, step the left heel slightly forward and directly stepping the right leg forward. This all happens in the exhale, and then we inhale in the warrior. Exhale down to Chaturanga. Inhale in the upward facing dog. And exhale in the downward facing dog. Step your right heel in, left leg forward. Inhaling in the warrior one. Exhaling into Chaturanga. Inhaling in the upward facing dog. Exhale, find the downward facing dog. Adjust your leg position if you have to. Find the proper downward facing dog. Take 5 breaths. Strongly press your hands down, press your heels down, keep your toes relaxed. Last 2 breaths. On the last inhale, we rock slightly forward. Exhale, bending the knees. Inhale, look forward, jump forward. Exhaling all the way down. Inhale, look up. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, find the forward bend. Inhale, look up. Arms up. And exhale, finding back to our standing pose. Well done. Once you nail the sequence, once you manage the moves, take your time to really practice slowly, practice safely. Then we're going to go for a few connected rounds, Sun Salutation, classical A and B, to make it really sort of a strong warm-up practice. In meanwhile, thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video and subscribe to the channel.